Australia-India white ball series is coming up at the end of this week, Bigger. You're a guy that's traversed, like you've been inside Indian cricket and Australian cricket. You've been there when there's big cricket on over there. I feel like sometimes in Australia we're a little, as a general public, we're very focused on the cricket that happens here, and a lot of the cricket over there happens when we're asleep, frankly.
Yep.
It's going to be a really popular series. I'm not just saying that because it's on Fox. But, I mean, a lot of it's sold out, right? But a lot of it will be Indian fans as well.
95,000 at the G.
Yeah.
Which will be where you boys reside now.
Yeah, that's it.
Look, there'll be a lot of blue shirts. That's fine. And I love the Indian heritage that live in Australia that call themselves Aussies, and they are Aussies.
Yeah.
Until there's a game of cricket on with India. And I love that. They put their blue shirt on, next day they're green and gold again.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Yeah.
But it's going to be super exciting.
Yeah.
Super exciting.
What's your, more and more Aussie fans come to understand the power of India within cricket. What's your sense of where Australia is in terms of, like Australian fans are in terms of that? We're talking about the privatisation of the BBL, for example. Indian franchises might come in, Sydney Sixers might go by a different name, and that kind of thing. Is that something? Do you think Aussies should be looking to embrace, to understand? What's your view on that piece?
Yeah, well, I mean, look, they had the option to do that before the Big Bash started. They had some ultra high net worth individuals out of India that wanted to buy it, and even do a 49-51 split. So they got the controlling right, but they didn't want to do it because they thought T20 cricket's a phase. It wasn't gonna last.
Wow.
Good call.
Whoops.
Where do you think Aussies are on T20 cricket, as a general populace?
In terms of viewership and in terms of fan base?
Yeah, and maybe T20's place in our consciousness, relative to other formats.
I love Test cricket, first and foremost. I'm a bit of a Test purist. I love how it's a game of chess, and you go the fifth day, it could be the last over, and we've had it in Australia. I've played in a game where we won for the last over. But I also understand, and 50 over cricket, loved it. That was probably my best format in terms of where I was most successful, because they had to attack. There was no time, they could just see me off in Test cricket. Whereas T20 cricket, it brings a different demographic of people to watch the game, and that's got to be exciting and healthy, doesn't it? You've got these young boys and girls that don't really go and watch Test cricket, but they go to watch the Sixers versus the Thunder. It might be that they pick a team because they love the colours. They see the names on the back. They've got the fireworks. They've got the music. Everyone's got a very short attention span now. And the young kids growing up, they spend too much time on devices. We've all been guilty of that. And you try and get them out the backyard and kick a footy around or throw a ball around. But they want things to happen quickly. And that's why T20 cricket works. It's exciting. But you're never going to have the fan base, doesn't matter how much you promote it, in Australia to what you have overseas, because you've got massive people. You got, what's the population? It's 26 million or something in Australia?
Like that,
a bit
yeah.
more?
Oh, up 27 now.
27 million? You got 1.5 billion. And I've met 10 people from India that don't like cricket. 10. Out of 1.5 billion.
Yeah.
So that's why India, it's the powerhouse. They run cricket, and so they should. They are fanatical. I've never seen a country or a race that loves something as much. People say football and Brazil or whatever it might be could come close, but no, I've never seen it like cricket in India.
Do you feel like there are some players that you probably couldn't critique in India owing to their fandom? Like, for example, was MS Dhoni overrated?
Wow, is MS Dhoni overrated? Back up a short break. there's no breaks here, is there? No, he's not overrated. No, he's not overrated.
I don't think he's either.
Symbols.
MS Dhoni
is
he changed the way that the game is played, a bit like Gilly. Like Gilly wrecked it for everyone. He's so good.
Yeah, he did.
He wrecked it for everyone.
Bonnie.
Yeah.
But you think of what MSD's done, called the finisher. And he sort of came out and he. You rarely see him sweat. You rarely see him lose his cool. I've seen him lose his cool once on the cricket field where he walked out with something happened and he just walks out in the field and has a chat to the umpires. I mean, you only see that in India. It wouldn't happen here. Definitely not overrated.
Won one
and
World Cup.
Guys that play with him just say he's the nicest guy. His door's always open.
Yeah.
He won what?
He won one World Cup. I don't stop talking about it.
Home World Cup as well, easy.
Yeah,
Well, one more than a lot of people.
We won a couple.
Binga, you're loved in Australia as you are in India, and like when I mean, you talk to some of the guys now, like some of them find India a hard place to travel to, like to tour. I mean, I want to know like how you went about, you know, ingratiating yourself in the culture, because I mean you are equally loved in both of these countries, and I see a lot of guys maybe don't make the effort that you did, but you obviously saw opportunity and you wanted to be part of, to ingratiate yourself in the culture.
Yeah, look, I went there in '94, where I got picked from the 17s to the under-19s Australian cricket team. They boosted me up a couple of years. I was doing my HSC, and I said to Mum and Dad, you know, I've got my, because I knew at 9 I was going to play for Australia. It's weird. And I just trained my brain.
At what age did you say?
9.
9.
Yeah.
I wanted to bowl
That's what I
160 Ks and play for Australia. That was it.
Well,
Play
same,
the
but I
Ashes.
do this now.
Yeah, and you do a very good job, I
Got
might add.
close.
No, but that...
This
like,
is a podcasting version of that, by the way.
Exactly. You just sit a couple little...
Yeah.
Why do you get like a little baggy green felt?
Yeah. Baggy green.
There you go.
Microphone.
Yes. Windsock, what do they call it?
Yeah. No, that's a different thing.
No, yeah.
Hey, about 6 for Australia.
Yeah.
Great, Crozier.
I went there in '94, and Mum and Dad said, "Chase your dream. Take your books over with you and study."
Yeah.
They didn't come out of the bag because I was studying. I was studying for life, and that was the thing. And I just fell in love with India.
Yeah.
And came back. They said, "How was it?" I was homesick. Hadn't been away from Mum and Dad. You know, I hadn't even left the state. Rarely. I'm now flying overseas. I'm the youngest, you know, in this whole group, playing against guys like VVS Lakshman at that age.
Wow.
Got horribly sick, came back, you know, built like a wine glass, and it was just horribly sick, hard to bowl, didn't get a lot of wickets, and I said I had a great time. They're like, what? Why? How? I said, just the people. They're just lovely.
Yeah.
And I thought, there's something in this. And I don't know whether you believe in past lives or whatever, and I don't really sort of believe in all that stuff, but there's something there that draws me back to India, and it's the people. They're so lovely and friendly. It gets overwhelming, of course, but it's like organised chaos, and I laugh and I got the smile on my face because the stuff I've seen, hilarious, can only happen in India. And the energy, there's always something happening. Anything could happen at any time. It's just it's incredible. So to answer your question, it was like, it wasn't, oh, this is a good opportunity. It was more the love of the nation. It was the love of the country.
Yeah.
And then the opportunity came from that. You know, I thought it'd be respectful to learn a little bit of Hindi, just to say thank you, or g'day. I was, in their terms, I was one of the first Gorda Farangis, the white foreigner, to get a local sponsorship over there, which hadn't really happened. So myself and Steve Waugh were both on that same page, where in early 2000 when we did that. And then just became this love affair for India.
Yeah.
And then you learn about Bollywood.
Yep.
You do a little cameo here or there.
Yeah.
Which I hope is not one of your questions. But I love it. And it's if you want to boost your ego and that's what your life's about, which mine's not, you go to India if you're a cricketer, because you just get loved and looked after.
Yeah. Well, I do want to ask you about it. I'll be kind about it though. I mean, because we're so fascinated by like our heroes, like what they're like away from when we see them on the field, right? Like we want to know about their life or their partner or whatever it is. We want to know more about them to be closer to them, right? And a lot of the guys now, it's basically like it's coffee and golf. You know, it's pretty homogenous across everyone.
Yeah, it is.
But you're in a band and you're in Bollywood. You know, so like you've gone outside of the strict parameters of what you're allowed to like as a cricketer. So how's the group reacting to that?
Point.
You know?
I used to get sledged. I mean, Andrew Simons, Big Roy used to sledge the hell out of me, but rightly so. You go, Jethro. Call me Jethro, right? So Mark Waugh called Andrew Simons Jethro on the bus once, and out of the Beverly Hillbillies. Right. You know, the guy was very clumsy and always falling over and tripping over and all that. And I started laughing, so he started calling me Jethro. And he just, you know, he gets on something, he just stick with it. Yeah. But he goes, mate, that horrendous cheesy love song you wrote, why'd you do that? I said, why not? He's going, oh, mate, I wouldn't have done it. I said, well, how many #1 hits have you got in India? Bugger it. You only live once, have a crack. Yeah. And like, you're not going to please everyone. Yeah. I love music. And if I had the choice, this is because I got asked this question, play for Australia or be like a proper rock star, like a Robbie Williams. I'd go music.
Me too.
Same.
Because
100%.
imagine playing it. I watched Oasis 2 weeks ago at Wembley, and just like Liam Gallagher just held the crowd in his hand, and that it's to a lesser extent when you got the ball because you're controlling the narrative of what's happening in the game at the top of your mark because they can't play until you run in. That's a little bit like that, but nowhere near like it.
Yeah, I reckon the closest I've seen to that is Warney.
Oh yeah,
It's the closest to. It's not the same
on
but
the
it's
field.
On the yeah. What I wouldn't give to me on the bus. Just get me on the
Send
bus.
it off, man.
Yeah. Like the theatre that he was able to create, and when he had momentum, you felt something was going to happen every ball.
Presence,
right? Presence, that whole thing.
Yeah, definitely. Because you see some of the goats in sport, they look at things different. I think of Tiger Woods, I think of Michael Jordan, I think of Shane Warne in cricket, Messi. They've just got this aura about them. Doesn't mean they're always going to have a great game, but I tell you what, they go pretty bloody close to it because they expect it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's the belief that you have to have, within yourself that you expect it's going to be a good game. Like I sort of never went out to a game going, I'm going to have a shocker today. I'm going to dominate. If you believe that, the chances of it happening are pretty good. Now, it doesn't always happen, and you have less great games than worse games. You have a lot more worse games in cricket. And when I say worse games, where you're not getting wickets or runs, bad days in cricket. They happen all the time. So when the good stuff happens, you've got to enjoy it.